Welcome back to some everlasting summer. We're looking for Shurik. Loads of suspicious stuff happening around the camp, especially in trying to escape from it. So there you go, fun times to be had. The camp was drifting to an afternoon nap. Only Genda stared at me through his glasses. Of course, he stared somewhere else, but I had a feeling that he was constantly watching me. Or maybe there's cameras in there. Maybe it's the KGB after all. But he knows where Shurik is hiding. Just can't tell anything. Disappearance of the cybernetics club leader made me think. Maybe it's got something to do with my case. Oh, Pioneer. The nurse stood in front of me. I looked at her curiously. Go and take my place in the infirmary. Really? I have an urgent call. Somebody is injured. Me? Yes, you. Take the keys. So maybe Shurik is injured. Anyway, nurse threw me the keys and ran away. Why me? Isn't there anyone else in this camp? No. There's only one single person of any importance. But anyway, what exactly should I be doing? What if something happens? Oh, what can I do now? I missed my chance to refuse. Yeah, well, stood in front of the door with uncertainty. On the one hand, there's nothing to worry about. I'll spend half an hour or so. She'll be back. What if someone comes for actual help? With a broken leg or with an injured head? I began to worry too much. Hope there's no serious injuries. It could be a serious situation. Oh well, whatever. I don't even know how to perform CPR. Okay, that is rather disconcerting. Well, neither do I for that matter. But anyway. Maybe I should learn actually. Anyway. A magazine on a nurse's table caught my attention. Good way to relax, I guess. This is labelled Soviet fashion. Published date or month were absent. That's very suspicious as well, but anyway. However, this was not a surprise. There were much stranger things happening here. I didn't know much about Soviet magazines. Maybe they actually didn't have published dates on them. Yeah, maybe. It still sounds pretty fucking suspicious, though. But anyway, models dressed in old-fashioned clothes stared at me from glossy pages. Nowadays, nobody would put on such clothes. Yes. Put on such clothes. But anyway, I smirked. I wonder if Slavia, for example, considered this fashionable. I only imagined what would happen if she appeared in my time wearing something like this. Picture wouldn't hurt actually, but whatever. Imagine we are walking hand in hand. I'm wearing my coat with the hood, and she is dressed into a lavish dress covered with laces and thingies. Seems like I'm already Seems like I'm already imagining Slavia in my world. With me. Not only Slavia. This dress better suits Ulyana. This cute sarafan would look good on Alyssa. This skirt and cardigan would look nice on Lena. Oh, there you go. If only they could be real. No, I saw them, heard them, and could even touch them. But still, they are here, and I simply don't belong to this place. It's all alien for me. I'm just waiting for a chance to get out of here. Waiting cause nothing depends on me anymore. I sighed, put my head on the table, and fell asleep. I was awakened by the noise of the door opening. Lena stood at the doors. Nurse is not here. Nope, then I'll come back later. I'm substituting her. Since I'm responsible for pioneers' lives, I should do it with all the responsibility. Although in fact I was just afraid of something happening because of me. Any health complaints? I tried to give Lena the most accurate smile I could in order not to confuse her. Nothing special, just a little headache. Let's do this. Some painkillers maybe. Of course I wasn't aware where to find required medicines, so it took me long to find them. Finally. I handed a metamizole tablet to Lena. Actually, I think they were in STALKER Misery. Metamizole stuff. Yeah, oh, there you go. Thanks, she smiled. That was absolutely unexpected, and so I lost touch of reality staring at her. Meant to be staring, but anyway. What? Lena got awkward in a moment. Listen, I've been wondering, do you like this? Don't know what's got into me, but I grabbed that magazine from a table and I showed her the picture of a skirt and a cardigan, which would really suit Elena in my opinion. Maybe I went completely nuts thinking about all the girls in my world, or maybe I wanted to distract myself instead of waiting for the nurse to come back. Lena looked at the picture. Yes, I guess. Is stuff like this in trend? I guess. She got confused and started blushing. Why are you asking? Really, why? Nah, fuck it, why not? I think you look gorgeous in it. And thank you. It's alright, I'm just being completely honest. You were quiet for some time. How's your headache? Much better, thank you. She smiled. I'll go, good luck. And away she goes. Who's going to come in next, I wonder? Ah, there we go. To think. Most popular place to go, of course it is. Suddenly I've decided to roleplay a nurse. Just a male version. And said, come in. The door opened and Uliana entered the room. Wow, did I miss the moment when you decided to start knocking? Anything wrong with knocking? She frowned. What's hurting? Why on earth would I tell you? Where's the nurse? I'm in front of you. I've imposingly crossed my legs and looked questioningly at her. Okay then. I'd better go. Better die than being treated by you. She smiled mischievously. You didn't even try. Yana thought for a moment. You could give me pills. What's bothering you? Took her some time to reply. Heaviness in the stomach. Sure it's not emptiness in the head? I've muttered under my breath. What did you say? Nothing? Give me a second. Found pills in the first drawer opened. Let's hope he's not poisoning them or anything. Anyway, thank you, doctor. She smiled cheerfully. Watching Uliana could not imagine how such an optimistic and active child could have health problems. Indeed. What? Okay, stolen candy's overdose, right? Got poison in the canteen. Poison, yeah, whatever. Stolen candy's overdose, right? She gave me a baleful look, I could imagine. No, left everything for you. Ha ha. And away she goes. Slam the door. Ah, well, whatever. Again, I went into studying the Soviet fashion trends. Incredible. Time passed, but the nurse was still absent. Wasn't searching for Shrek, wasn't looking for any clues concerning my state. I was just sitting and flipping through the magazines. Sounds like a hell of a time. Just for a moment, I felt quite satisfied with this situation. Eventually, everything happening here could be seen as some sort of trip to a summer camp, and if nothing changes anytime soon, then I can start worrying. Again, somebody knocked on the door. Did I miss an outbreak of an epidemic? Slavia was standing at the doorway. Oh hi, isn't the nurse here? No, she's not here. I'm taking over for today. Great, indeed. I'd like... She hesitated. Probably tampons or something. What? By the way, Semyon, Slavia said and looked intently at me. What? God's sake, what? Seems like I lost my keys. Have you seen them anywhere? Sure I have. Yes, yeah, I found them near the canteen yesterday. Wanted to return them to you, but forgot about it. Yeah, to be honest, I actually had forgotten about it too. Yeah, I was really bad at lying. My cheeks were red. Really? Actually, I thought he... Okay, well, there we go. Apparently he's lying there. My cheeks were red, eyes were wandering around, and hands were constantly shaking. Yeah. I was already preparing myself for an appropriate scolding, but Slavia only took the keys and said, thanks. So what have you come for? Really had to change the subject. Anything hurts? No, it's nothing. Strange. I wouldn't even think that such an open person as Slavia would keep something quiet. If there's something bothering you, tell me. That's why I'm here, to treat people. I smiled wildly. No. I mean, yes, but you. Think that made anything possible, even division by 0. So how can I help you? You? I guess you can't. She smiled and was going to leave, but suddenly stopped. However, can you step out for a minute? Probably because there are listening devices in the room or something. Why not? Okay, yeah, there you go. I stepped out of the infirmary and leaned onto the wall. I wonder what might she be doing? Something that I can't even see. After a minute, the door opened and Slavia came out. She was carrying a small bundle. Oh, okay, she was still in there. Whoops. Yeah, indeed. Ask her or don't ask her. Decisions. Yeah, fuck it, let's ask. What is it? Nothing. She blushed. I guess obviously it was some feminine stuff, most likely. Thank you, you're welcome. Yes, well, whatever, fuck it. I'll ask anyway. Even though it's obvious there was some feminine stuff there, but... oh well. Yeah, I looked at the time, it was getting late, I read the magazine backwards and forwards, there still wasn't here. And of course, we're going to get more people coming in. Maybe more questions, inappropriate questions to ask. Anyway, suddenly the door burst open and Alyssa ran inside. She looked at me thoroughly. What are you doing here? Sitting, I admitted honestly. Okay then. It's even better without the nurse, she murmured. Are you sick? I asked acidly. Alyssa didn't answer and came closer to me. Move over, why? So I can open the drawer, isn't it obvious? What for? She got angry. None of your business. Well, I'm kinda in charge here. She gave it a thought. You give me some activate... What? Then give me some activated carbon. Stomachache? Yeah. She grinned acidly. I felt there was something wrong here. Activated carbon? What the hell? No, fuck it, let's not. Do not give this the activated carbon. Really, a stomachache. Really? Yeah, indeed. Doesn't seem so. What? Do I have to toss my lunch all over the place for you to believe me? Well, that'd be a start, I suppose, yes. I don't know what terrible is there... What? I don't know what terrible things there are to be done with activated carbon. We'll just go with that. But I'm sure you'll think of something. She hesitated. And what if you're right? Here. I knew it. I'm certainly not giving you anything. Ah, here we go. Alexander Matrosov was a Soviet infantry soldier during the Great Patriotic War, posthumously awarded the title of the Hero of the Soviet Union for blocking a German machine gun with his chest. Jesus. Anyway, Alisa tried to get to the drawers, but I blocked the pillbox with my chest like Alexander Matrosov. Not bad reference, actually. With all her impudence, she was still just a girl and she had no chance to push me aside. Whatever, I'll find it somewhere else. Interesting. She turned away and headed to the exit. At the door, Elisa stopped and looked back. By the way, the camp leader and the nurse are carrying a pioneer with a broken leg. I really don't care, but they seem to be struggling. Yeah, sure. Come see yourself. Lisa seemed to be lying, but on the other hand, as long as I can see her... I came to the door and looked outside. No one was there. And where exactly? Haven't reached here yet then. She made a helpless gesture. Have fun. Returned to the table and only then I realised that one of the drawers was opened. God, I can't believe we fell for that. Oh man. How did she make it? I turned my back just for a second. Though what evil can come out of activated carbon? That's a good question actually, I'm not entirely sure. Well, it's activated, so that can't be good I guess. But anyway. It was 15 minutes till dinner and the nurse still wasn't back. I guess just leaving like that won't do, she asked me after all. And who knows what might happen if I leave. Oh yeah, because he's given expert care. Anyway, though who might want to steal anything from here? Except for Elisa stealing activated carbon. I opened the magazine again and began flipping through it for the nth time. The fashion of the 80s wasn't that fun anymore. Yeah, who to think. Yawning got me several times. It was already 6 o'clock, hence dinner has already started. Of course I had to be on watch till the end, but my stomach seemed to have its own opinion on this matter. I stood up and steadily headed to the exits. Just cracking my neck there. Some rustling sounds came from behind the door. Could it be someone else who got poisoned, broke the ram, or something even worse? I sighed heavily and pulled the doorknob. However, there was no one out there. It seems it was just my imagination. I returned inside and instantly noticed that something had changed in the infirmary. God. If someone was playing a stealth game against this guy, I think they would win pretty easily. But anyway, to be precise, an apple appeared on the table. Oh yes, so it had. But where from? Fruits can't just materialize from thin air by themselves, can they? Though in this camp everything is possible. Chances are someone just brought it here. Maybe Lena wanted to thank me with an apple, eh? Given that she's all shy and... But wait, how could she just walk past me like that? Because this guy is just horrible at stealth, it seems. But anyway, and detecting stealth, should I say. Lena wouldn't climb through the window after all, or would she? So there must be something else. I was suddenly overwhelmed by fear. What if the apple is poisoned? Why would someone complicate things when I'm here totally helpless and can be killed way easier? Or it might be the apple which Eve tasted in the Garden of Eden. Not eat it... rumbling... Yeah, it is rather coincidental that he's incredibly hungry and someone delivers him an apple. But anyway, Take food, about to eat itself. Alright, yep, we're gonna eat the fucking apple. Great. Possibly someone might have put it there. Alrighty. So we can either eat it or not eat it. Really? You actually get the option not to eat it. Yeah, fuck it, let's eat it. We'll probably end up dying or something. That's what they'll eat the apple. Finally, hunger prevailed and I started chewing on the ripe green apple with an appetite. Its taste seemed usual. The strongest poison can be tasted. That depends on the sort of poison, really, but anyway. It's too late to think about it. Indeed, it was time to go for dinner. Perfect. On my way I was reached by electronic. How's it going? Did you find Shurik? Nope, still no signs of him. Don't worry, we'll find him. I tried to cheer him up. Too much time has passed. I'll just keep on searching. What about a dinner? No, finding Shurik is more important. No, it's not. Fuck that. He uttered thoughtfully. Left him at the crossroads and wished him good luck. Pioneers crowded in a doorway. Quickened my pace, trying not to be the last one in the line, at least for today. At least I was lucky. Or no. And I was lucky. In the far corner was an absolutely empty table. I took my dinner quickly and sat at the table. Tonight's dinner consisted of fruit soup and a pair of buns. That sounds yummy. This set surprised me at first, but tasting it was actually nice. What if it has anything to do with the apple? Anyway. Concentrated on eating. Lena, let's go here. Look, free chairs. What do you know? Lena and Miku stood in front of me, one looking a bit more pissed than the other, but there you go. Is it taken? Wondered Lena. Lena, should I say. No, take a seat. Of course, I wish you was alone. Thank you. As soon as Lena said that, Jehnya, I'm pretty sure it's meant to be Genya or something, or Kenya, jumped out from behind her back. Xenia, that's it. God. Anyway, Xenia, I'll sit here, there are no places left. She said, putting a tray on the table, and sat down, not even waiting for my answer. Sure, make yourself at home, I muttered sorrowfully. What? Nothing. To tell the truth, I wanted to reduce the whole company to just Lena, although nor Miku, nor Genya, keeps changing the name. Jesus Christ. Anyway, the name is now Genya. Nor Genya weren't causing too much trouble. Except one was too talkative and the other was too arrogant. Nevertheless, they were absolutely harmless, especially compared to some others. Oh, seems like I forgot a key. Don't worry, take mine. I was surprised by Miku's short reply. Do you live together? Of course. Didn't you know? Together. A cabin is the rearmost. I mean the farthest from here. I mean the last one. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if someone told me that Lena lived with Slavia. Or with Xenia at the worst. Even electronic. But silent and shy Lena and excessively talkative Miku making a company. Making a company, really. That's really a surprise. Did you find your Shurik? Said the correctly named Xenia. It's strange that Xenia is disturbed by someone's problems. Nope. Sure he is at the village buying cigarettes. Or vodka. That's all good. She snorted. Village? At very moments, the conversation got much more interesting. Anything wrong with villages? Xenia looked amazed. You mean there is a village nearby? I think so. That's amazing, and nobody mentioned it up until now. Who to think? So anyway, Xenia, I think so, she said uncertainly. I looked at Len and Miku, but they were busy with their meals and did not pay attention to our conversation. You mean you don't know exactly? Why should I care? Xenia stared at her dish. But there must be localities nearby. Listening. I don't know. Will you let me eat? Yep, there's definitely something suspicious there. Seems like I won't get anything from her. Though there is a chance that she really doesn't know. The remaining time was spent listening to Miku talking about some nonsense, just going mad in silence. Huzzah. Indeed, fresh air, yep. Sun was setting. Take a walk. Just didn't clear my throat there. So highly unlikely that I'll find anything more exciting to do for the rest of the evening. That way something interesting could arise quite unexpectedly. Interesting way of putting it, but there you go. Heard a loud clap. Seemed like something exploded. Felt paralyzed. Hostile environments, eh? Not knowing the rules or laws. And he's gonna run. But he was curious though. Anyway, probably I will just keep here standing. Keep standing, but anyway, but somebody grabbed my hand. Interesting. It was Olga Dmitrievna. Why are you standing here? Let's go and see what happens. Can't you ever manage without me? I begged her piteously. Shouldn't be anything serious, I hope. Came to the square, there was already a crowd of pioneers. Olga Dmitrievna vigorously pushed through the crowd and approached towards the crime scene. Obviously someone tried to blow up Genda. Counter-revolutionaries, my god man. But attackers failed, the monument was still standing upright. There were only dim ashes on the pedestal. These damn foreign saboteurs, I knew it. Trying to diminish the greatness of the Soviet Union. But anyway. Well, and who did this? She looked over a crowd of pioneers. Sure thing it wasn't done by an organised terrorist bunch. They all came here just to look at what happened. I noticed Ulyana and Elisa in the crowd. Looks like our camp leader noticed them too. You two here. They approached reluctantly. I owes me. Indeed. If you think so, show me your hands, Tvachevskaya. What's wrong with them? Looks closer and saw that they were smeared with black. Now it's clear. What did you make a bomb with? Junior terrorists seem to be hesitating whether to confess or not, but then blurt out proudly. Activated carbon, saltpeter and sulfur, of course. Well, we tried not to give it to her, I suppose. Wait a minute. Carbon. Carbon that she stole from the first aid post. Why exactly the monuments? Because she's a counter-revolutionary, obviously. What did this honoured man ever do to you? A fighter for the rights of... Oh, now she's getting mad. I could hardly imagine how long would she keep on scolding Alyssa if Electronic wouldn't pop out that very moment, shouting... I found it, I found it. Everyone turned towards him. He held a boot in his hand. Here. Electronic boastfully shook it over his head. It's Shurik's boot. Where's the rest of him then? Okay, calm down. Tell us in detail, where did you find it? In the forest. On the way to the old camp. Oh, there's another camp. Okay. Ah, whispers ran among the pioneers. Old camp, old camp. Are you sure? Absolutely. What's wrong with this old camp? I joined in the conversation. Nothing special really. Oh no, there's something going on there. She stammered. One of the Sovionics legends tells the story of a young camp leader's ghost living there. She fell in love with a pioneer, but he rejected her, and so she killed herself. I see. Did harakiri with a kitchen knife. Hilarious. Next day, that boy was hit by a bus. Yana ran out of the crowd. Bus? I held myself from asking about the road's number. But science doesn't approve of ghost existence, so we have nothing to be afraid of. Anyway, somebody should go there. Suddenly the crowd started to thin. I'll go Dimitri now, it's almost night, maybe tomorrow. Turned around and saw Slavia and Lena. God, that fucking music. What if at night something happens to him? No, today, right now. By the way, where is this place? Electronic roughly described me God damn it. Electronic roughly described me the directions and told me the story of the old camp. Camp leader looked at me attentively. If you think that you're the only man here, well, what about fucking Electronic, or whatever his name is? God. Looked around the area. That's right. Electronic was quick to flee. Oh, okay. I still didn't want to walk in the woods alone. If you ask me, I would. Ah, okay, so we get a choice. Elisa, Slavia, Ulyana, Lena, Rain. Yeah, fuck it, go Alicia. Alyssa. What am I saying? Why would she go with me? Am I going there alone? Olga Dmitrievna looked thoughtful. Perhaps you're right. We'll go together tomorrow morning. Oh, okay, well, so much for going with Alyssa then. We stood in silence for some time and then dispersed over the camp. Everybody seemingly forgot about Lisa and her terrorist act, maybe due to the minor damage it caused. Really? They shouldn't be forgetting that fucking quickly, though. Anyway, together with the camp leader, we moved towards her cabin. Tried to think why Shurik would go to the old camp. He is interested in robots and cybernetics, not scary stories and ghosts. Maybe there are ghost cyborgs there. Yes, that sounds about right. What does it have to do with that boot? Remember how I decided to wait until something extraordinary would happen, and then I realized this is it. Olga Dmitrievna, I think I'll take a walk before sleep. Just not a long one. Okay. When I reached the square, I understood that hanging around in the forest or it's some other hell place may not be that scary. Alrighty. But doing this in the dark. I didn't want to return to Olga Dmitrievna's cabin, but I had to find a flashlight. For instance, in the infirmary. And indeed, yes. Here we go. Found quickly, standing at the square. Into the forest. Going over there. Alright, perfect. I set forth. So, Electronic told me that the old building was built immediately after the war. It looked like a kindergarten, or kindergarten, or like a barracks as I expected, and definitely could fit less pioneers than today's camp. Huzzah. It was abandoned for about 20 years. And actually, it could be in worse condition, given the fact that it's been abandoned for so long. Soviet stuff, it's built to last. Alrighty. It was now totally dark. The forest looked totally different at night. Mysterious shadows were hiding behind the trees, strange rustling and cries of night birds coming from everywhere, branches treacherously crunching under my feet. The full moon was shining, so I decided to save the battery in the flashlight, sure I will need it sometime soon. Further I moved, the less pleasant the thoughts were coming into my head. No, wait a minute, no, the further I moved, the less pleasant thoughts were coming into my head. Indeed. I wasn't afraid of the dark at all. I didn't believe in ghosts and other mystical crap, but at the same time, during the last few days I encountered so many incomprehensible phenomena that against my own will I started to look between the lines in the simplest things. Obviously I felt exceptionally uneasy in the forest at night. Everywhere I looked, every shadow, every tree or bush looks like weird creatures, escaping straight from horror movies or from Stephen King novels. Ironically, some of them being turned into horror movies themselves. But anyway. The branch seemed to be someone's hand, so eager to grab your shoulder. Lying logs, someone's dead body, someone who failed to get out of the forest. In every ravine, I saw a bottomless abyss. If I would find myself in this forest under any other circumstances, without all these buses and pioneer camps, of course I would still find myself, feel myself uncomfortable? Okay, I think that'd be find myself uncomfortable, but then I would be able to explain everything with logic, be afraid of nothing. Of course, except for owls and mice. Okay. But at the moment, there were more than enough reasons to fear. Despite all this, I reached the old camp without any adventures. Oh, whoops, we were still in the other camp. Indeed. Anyway. There we go, that looks a bit more rustic. In a little glade surrounded by trees stood a house resembling a kindergarten. Paint peeled off the walls, almost all the windows were broken. Broken masonry here and there, holes in the roof looked like those produced by bombing. In front of a building was a little garden surrounded by a rusty fence. Apparently, once it was a playground with a merry-go-round, swing, chutes and other Soviet attractions. But time is cruel, all of them were mutilated by corrosion and were broken. The grass was so tall that it almost came up to my waist. Probably snakes in there. The moon looked out from behind the clouds and illuminated the old camp. This is a pretty good change in lighting actually. But anyway. It seemed like everything came back to life. Windows with new glass and walls, painted with fresh paint. I heard a playful laughter. Saw translucent children joyfully running and frolicking in the yard. Harsh camp leader on the threshold holding a basket with ripe apples in her hands. Old cleaning lady Manya taking a nap in shade. I got such chills. Of course my imagination was playing tricks, but the old camp itself was so similar to all post-apocalyptic pictures I've seen that these visions were of no surprise, of course. I stood undecided for a long time before I dared to go further. After all, I'm here to find Shurik. Boy, I still don't get what he might be doing here, if he's even here. Boots somewhere nearby doesn't mean anything. However, if he was not eaten by wolves, for some reason it seemed like there were no wolves in this forest, this must be the only place where he might be hiding. Apparently. I accurately crossed the yard? Anyway, I accurately crossed the yard, pushing the tall grass apart, trying not to run into some piece of metal. But I stopped in a doorway, hesitating. Impenetrable heavy darkness looked at me from the inside. That's what the flashlight's for. Even the bright moonlight could not reach any object or silhouette. My head was filled up with different thoughts that it's better for me not to go any further and run away quickly. But I pulled myself together, turned on the flashlight, and stepped over the threshold. Oh dear, definitely seen better days. Inside the building looked like a typical kindergarten. I still remembered my childhood days, and so everything here looked very familiar. Sleeping room with lines of beds standing close to each other, large playing room, toilets, dining room, utility rooms, it's got it all. Signs of the past children's joy was seen everywhere. Time to time the flashlight helped me draw my attention to decaying dolls, plastic toys, etc, etc. You get the message. There was a faded with aged book on a table. Really, there was a faded with aged book on the table. I don't know, whatever. I flipped through a few pages. It was a story I read a long time ago, back in my childhood. Something about the war. Enemies destroyed the kindergarten, and all of its kids hid in the little basement together with a bunch of adults, while bombs were exploding up on the surface. Fun times. Don't remember the end of the story, but as far as I remember, nobody died, and what a miracle. Looking at the illustrations, all emotions, fear, sadness, sympathy to the poor children and sense of hopelessness which I had experienced while reading this book came over me. It's strange that under these conditions right here now that I've found this book. Indeed, probably there's somebody who manages the ongoing, who writes scenarios for this absurd play, who sews costumes to the local pioneers, and draws sceneries like this abandoned camp. Indeed, to tell the truth, he is very talented. Attention paid to even the most minor of details. Jesus. Okay, the writer stroking their own ego a little bit there, but anyway. Although this place was abandoned a long time ago, everything here seemed to be untouched. Of course, time didn't spare this camp. In so many years, it was oftenly visited by the locals. Oftenly? Really? Just a perfect place for young people hitting their puberty. They could drink alcohol, indulge in amorous pleasures, or simply burn everything down just for fun. Didn't seem like much was actually burnt, but anyway. Electronica mentioned this place is full of its legends. Legends of ghosts and some other crap. Take at least the story about the camp leader who committed suicide. In my world, nobody will believe that this could stop somebody from doing everything possible. It didn't disappear. Take it to the inn. Alright, let's go. Difficult to inspect it fully. No signs of Shorik. Called him out. Not a good idea. Just sitting there. Ghosts, where are you? I asked the camp, and all of a sudden I noticed a strange deepening in the corner. A small hatch ajar, adults would hardly squeeze in it. And it seemed to me that it had been recently opened as the dust was cleared around. Well, there we go, we got ourselves a nice little clue. So it's here where I would need to get scared. So Shriek reached somewhere. Might be lurking beneath. A basement? What was he doing there? I fully opened the hatch and pointed the flashlight into the darkness. There was a ladder going down a couple of meters, jibbing into a concrete floor. There was a low, narrow corridor disappearing into the darkness. I hesitated for a long time. On the one hand, I had absolutely no desire to go down, but on the other hand, if Shurik was really there... I swore loudly and began to descend. Oh, yeah, that looks good. Downstairs was so dark that even the flashlight didn't help much. Low ceiling, wires extending along the walls, broken lamps clad in iron bars. We've seen it all somewhere. I slowly started to move deeper into the dungeon. Road went down and after a dozen of meters ended up with stairways with high steps. Okay. Soon I found myself in front of a massive metal door with a nuclear symbol. There was a sign painted on it. Closely realized it was a biohazard sign. No wonder if the old camp was built after the war and it lasted until the 70s. So it's an ordinary bomb shelter and there was nothing to be afraid of. Unless if maybe there was some bio experiments being conducted there. But anyway. However, these thoughts made me even more scared. I made a decision and opened the door. which immediately shut with a sharp sound as soon as I stepped through a doorway. I shuddered strongly so that my hands began to tremble and eyes darkened. I regained consciousness after a few seconds, only then I realized that apparently a strong spring was attached to the door. I found myself in a quite spacious room. In the beam of the flashlight I could see a double bed, some cabinets along the walls, and several devices of unknown purpose located in the far corner. It seems that this bomb shelter was never used. Nobody ever came here. The beds were made, which is strange by itself. I carefully looked around the room several times. Well, they could have made them before they left, but anyway. Cabinets were filled with gas masks, chemical protective suits, dry rations, various domestic dribs and drabs. Actually, a gas mask would be pretty cool. Wonder if we'll be able to snag one, maybe. Devices which purpose I could not at first determine were gauges of radiation, air pressure, and temperature. It was a typical bomb shelter in short. I've never been in such places, but that's how I imagined it. The only thing remained God, fucking tongue-tied. The only thing remained unexplored was the door at the far end of the room. That could have been written a bit better. I pulled the handle, but the door remained closed. If someone recently came down here and he wasn't found in a room, then it would be logical to assume that he is behind this door. I called out in a whisper, "Shriek?" No reply. Maybe he locked himself. But why? It was unclear what to do next. On the one hand, I could come back tomorrow with help, but for some reason I thought that behind this door I could find answers that can't wait to be found. Once again, I walked across the room and took a crowbar from the corner. I picked the door bottom with it and tried to rip it from its hinges. Oddly enough, after a while I did it, but it was not as massive as the previous door, indeed. Oh, I say. The door gave up and slammed on the floor. I took a breath and pointed a flashlight into the passage. I've got another one. There was a corridor vanishing in the darkness, the same as the one on which got me here. The walls were closing together. My head almost touched the ceiling, but I could not make out the end of the corridor. Spine-tingling stuff. I walked carefully, looking at the ground. This was the reason that I did not fall into the pit. The hole was about 1.5 meters in diameter. There was an earth at the bottom of it instead of concrete. Or there was earth at the bottom of it instead of concrete. Seems that the hole was caused by an explosion. It wasn't too big, I could easily get out later. Now down we go. Oh, railroad tracks. After I jumped into the hole, I found myself in the semblance of a miner's drift. Reinforced with wooden beams, insufficient for the flashlight, and we're at a crossroads. It's too dangerous to go further, I can get lost. I decided it would be a good idea to somehow indicate the place in which I'll begin the journey into Labyrinth, so I picked up a stone and made quite a big notch in the wall. Damn it, we can't even decide whether to go left or right. Oh, well, fuck it. So... Oh, we can actually decide. Okay, what he said was too dangerous. So, left or right? Well, right is towards fascism, left is towards communism, so I think we'll go left. There we go. Seems that there is another fork in the road. Oh my god, again, really? Let's go left, fuck it. Go left. I came to some kind of miners' camp. Picks and helmets everywhere, a rusty wagon stood in the corner. All items were so old, they dated rather from the beginning of the 20th century than from the middle. So this is really a mine. Which means I can be walking here on and on without finding a way out. Exactly, actually. Mine passages could go on forever. But I sensed that exit was somewhere nearby and went further. Okay. So there was another fork in the road. Yeah, go left. Why not? We'll just keep going left. And again... Really? Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. Go left. Okay, something tells me it's just going to keep on repeating itself until I go right then. I go right then, for fuck's sake. Oh my god, don't tell me there's a fucking glitch here or something. Go left. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Right, another fork in the road, go left. I returned to the place where I began. Really? So I took a wrong turn somewhere. Let's continue searching. Oh, alright, I'll go right this time. Road, go left. Right. left. I'm just alternating between them now, to be honest. Right. Left. Oh, what do you know? A door appeared from the darkness around the last turn. Good old trial and error. I opened it and went inside the small room. Nobody was here except Shurik, who sat in the corner. What do you know? Shurik. He stared at me with eyes full of terror. So take an interesting turn, this story. Ah, don't come. Shurik, it's me, Semyon. I won't give up just like that. He got a piece of a reinforcement bar from behind his back and started waving it around. Shurik, what's wrong with you? Calm down. First you bring me here, then you take me through this mine, and now you're pretending to be Semyon? Okay, that's interesting. You must have gone nuts completely. Yes. Shurik, calm down. Nobody pretends to be me. I am actually me. I tried to talk as calm as I could, but I was feeling nervous almost more than him. Well, probably because he had a weapon on him. Semyon? He squinted. Is that really you? Yes, and now tell me what happened. How did you get here? Shurik recovered his breath and started to talk. I needed some parts for the robot. And I heard there is a bomb shelter in the old camp. There could be some instruments there. Ah, there you go. So I got up in the morning and went. He stopped for a minute trying to deal with tremor in his hands. I found suitable parts, but then I read a primal fear in his eyes. The voices, they told me to go here. I went down the mine, and then they were telling me to go to the right, then left, then right, then left, then right, then left. Okay, basically alternating, which is what I did. He started to laugh hysterically. But now they won't get me. I'll be sitting here, they won't find me here. He once again started to wave his pipe in the air. Shurik, there's no one there. I wasted quite a lot of time walking in the mine like you, but I haven't heard any voices. He fixed his eyes on me. Then you are with them. Oh. Shurik rushed towards me. I was just barely able to dodge him. I'm gonna get a boss battle here. But the flashlight wasn't as lucky. It took a full force of Shurik's strike. Oh dear. We found ourselves in complete darkness. Now it was my time to completely lose my mind. What have you done, idiot? I swayed my hand in the way where I was expecting Shurik to be, but with no avail. And we both will die here. Got nothing but silence in return, and then a quiet hysterical laugh. It's alright, that's fine. I know where the exit is. Follow me. Follow you where? I can't see a damn thing. Follow my voice. No other choice. Here. Somewhere further, you know where to go. Walked you all over. Then why didn't you leave? The voice is quiet, they can hear us. In theory, I could believe there were some supernatural forces here. In Sovyonok camp, it's just a daily thing to happen. But there were no reasons to panic yet, though my hands were shaking without stop. Here. Okay, we're following his voice. A few minutes. Dim light. We're here. Great. Yeah. Okay, getting blocked, of course. Square bits of landscape I could see. Pick me up. Okay, hit the grating with my fist so hard that a few strikes later my arms are all covered in blood. Oh, ouch. But grating in return gave me... the grating in return gave in and folded aside. Oh, there we are. A minute later we were out on the surface behind the monument of Genda. Interesting, so that actually that actually goes beneath the camp even. Bizarre. When I saw this grating before, I had no idea that there could be catacombs below it. They'll come for you. I fell to the ground hardly. Who? They'll come. Said Shurik again and ran away. Wow. I was so exhausted I could not even think about some voices recalling some forsaken camp, bomb shelter, or the mine. Almost unconscious, I reached the camp leader's cabin. But I couldn't go to bed right away. Oh, right. Look who's here. With the boss battle music. Olga Dmitrievna. Started... what? Okay, I started tiredly, attempting to cut the explanation to its minimum. You said you were going for a walk, but instead... And I was going to go and call the police. Oh. And Olga Dmitrievna, can't wait until tomorrow, I'm really, really tired. Camp leader eyed all over me. Okay, fine. I was a bit surprised that she agreed so fast, but decided not to waste this opportunity, and there we go. To bed we shall go. God, that was pretty... I mean, you'd think she would have questioned me a bit further, but... oh well. Day 5. Things are getting more and more interesting. We ran to our last bits of strength, like those who run for their precious lives. 2 in person, okay, metal door. No idea how deep this bomb shelter is. Nuclear blast, no place to hide. She gripped my hands tight, so someone else is here, don't be afraid. Bits of the ceiling were falling off and the walls were shaking. I was prepared for the worst, but death is such a thing that you can't ever be prepared for. Suddenly, complete silence fell. It was ringing even louder than the explosions. Maybe it's time to say goodbye. She was whimpering. Ease somehow, nothing could do. Yes, you know I... Bam. Horrible bang. Actually, I'm pretty sure I've heard that in Aliens vs Predator 2. But anyway, a horrible bang almost broke my eardrums apart. Seems that I'm under a piece of collapsed ceiling, but I haven't felt any pain. All I wanted was to not let her go. The hell is going on? So some sort of bombardment, but what does this have to do with anything, this dream? Anyway, I woke up in a cold sweat, losing my breath and gulping for air. It took some time to come to my senses. It was a dream. Just a dream. Refused to believe it though. And who was that girl? Didn't want to let go of her hand, couldn't recall her. A few minutes past 10. And of course, going to be really hungry. War is war, but lunch should be served in due time. She wasn't here. That's interesting. You'd think she would have wanted to question him, but whatever. Well, thanks to our camp leader for this. Oh, no, well, thanks goes to our camp leader for this. After yesterday's adventures, I had to have a rest. Bloody reminiscence, we don't think about. Alright, gonna find something to eat and to wash ourselves. Always be clean and tidy. Indeed. Alrighty. On my way to the washstands, I met Electronic. He started to wave his hands and ran to me. Good morning. Thank you for finding Shudik. Without him, I don't even. It's nothing. I was a bit embarrassed. No, really, don't be shy much. The country must be proud of its heroes. Really? I suppose it counts as a hero. What about Shurik? How did he look in the morning? Is he alright? After yesterday's craziness, I thought such a question would be completely valid. Yes, absolutely. The only thing is that he can't remember anything. Oh, of course. Can't he? I wasn't surprised at all. He says that he went to the abandoned camp yesterday and then woke up in his bed in the morning. I mean, he remembers nothing between those 2 events. Okay, I think he's bullshitting them, basically. That's whatever, yeah, I see. Alright then. You missed the breakfast, right? Come to our club. We'll feed you. I have something special. Something special, eh? Some special sausage, perhaps. But anyway. Electronic smiled in a conspiring way. Ah, I knew it. There you go. A freaking cold today. But anyway, thanks, I'll come probably. Gee, how committal. I had to wash myself first anyways. We'll be waiting. Okay. Away he goes. Nobody near the washstands. And the water was surprisingly warm. Got warmed up already. It'll be easy to wash the rest of my body. Go to the showers. Nobody there. So I take off my clothes. Or if someone sees me, just rinse and dry myself quickly and put on my clothes. Great. And of course the water felt bone-chillingly cold for my body. 10 seconds. There we go. Easy peasy. And what do you know, there were some voices coming from the footpath direction. The only solution came in a split second. I grabbed my clothes and dashed into the bushes. A moment later, Lisa and Uliana appeared near the washstands. You could do it by yourself. Why did you get me here? Is it a big deal for you? Fine, let me. I peered at them and noticed that they were both covered in red paint. What a surprise. I wonder how they managed that. Lisa opened the valve and started to rub Uliana's back. Oh, okay, this is going to be blacked out, of course. Oh, there you go. Take off your bra. What if somebody sees us? What, is there anything to see? She grinned. Okay, just be quick. It was true that there wasn't much to look at, but even then I stared at the girls narrowly. It was a pity they were standing with their backs to me. With their backs to me? Okay, well, that's interesting. Makes you wonder why they needed to be blacked out then. Alright then. A minute later, Alyssa managed to wash off all the paint. I'm done. Thanks. You're welcome. Alyssa replied lazily. Listen, let me try on yours. This is bra. She pointed to it. So this was bra. It won't suit you for sure. Well, I'd like to try anyways. And here. There's nobody here, right? Liana looked my way and smiled archly. I was absolutely sure she couldn't see me in these bushes, but Enough of that foolishness. And I wasn't listening to her anymore and grabbed Elisa's bra with a dexterous move instead. Now I have to confess, I had something to look at. I was watching two girls chasing one another around the wash stands with bated breath. Lisa covered her breasts with her hands so I could barely see anything at all. Leaned forward and having stumbled over a stone, fell out of bushes. Jesus, how much of this is going to be blacked out? Yeah, well. Elisa and Uliana stood frozen staring at me. I tried to cover my nudity with the guilty face. Such tableau. This lasted for a few seconds, and then Elisa took her shirt and somehow put it on in a moment. You. Her face gone from red to purple. It looked like she'll explode with a nuclear blast any second. Indeed. The only thing I wanted to do was to disintegrate into atoms and get as far away from the epicenter as possible. He was sitting there the whole time. Oh, of course she knew. So she noticed me then. You. And I. Well, I accidentally, if you know what I mean. Okay, Elisa rushed to me. Oh dear. Covering my butt with one hand and holding clothes with the other, I ran in the woods, and apparently that needed to be fucking blanked out as well. It's starting to get kind of annoying, to be honest. Anyway, it seemed the best solution to me at that time, as showing up naked in the middle of camp, accompanied with two screaming girls, wasn't a good idea. Ran without looking back. Stopped a few minutes later to catch my breath. Seemed there was no pursuit, so I managed to save myself, but at the price of lacerated, scratched and bleeding feet, as I had no time to put on my boots. I sat on the tree stump and sighed. Right, and we're going out of the forest. What to do next? That's a good question. Off to the infirmary. The stomach wasn't going to wait, or should he accept his electronics invitation, or to the canteen? So there's a few possibilities there. Let's see. Infirmary. Yeah, fuck it, let's just go over here. There we go. I was desperately hungry. I was always taking good care about my health, and even better care at times when something started to hurt badly. Now I was able to walk and my feet weren't even hurting much. Yeah, there you go, it was the right decision. So my feet will heal up eventually, while hunger can't wait. Decided to take advantage of electronics invitation. In the end, knowing the local pioneers, it was smart to assume that there wasn't even a piece of stale bread left in the canteen. And the Cybernetics Club have owed me somehow. What? And the Cybernetics Club have owed me somehow, actually. Alright. With such thoughts, I approached the club's building, and heard screams out of it. Tried to listen closely, but couldn't figure out anything. Okay. Okay, give her back. Cute. No, I won't. Liana was running around the room with a hank of wire in her hands, chased by Shriek. Looks like he's missing a lens or something, but anyway. Guys, it's somehow inconvenient to interrupt you, but give it back. Didn't even give me a bit of attention. No, I won't. Shriek, being so busy with the chase, slipped by me, almost knocking me down. Hey, Liana was running in circles around the room, laughing cheerfully. I wonder why at all she needs this wire for. Probably just screwing around, really. Meanwhile, head of the Cybernetics Club was looking fine even after yesterday's madness. One could even say he was looking fresh. Great music. Ding, ding, ding. Indeed. But this wouldn't help him to catch Juliana, probably. She was smaller, more agile, and faster, after all. She could easily drive him to exhaustion. Hey. Juliana ran up to me and hid behind my back. Shuriken in his turn left the club, slamming the door on his way out. He was offended, it seems. Hey, what's wrong with you? You won't catch me? She looked at Electronic, who was silently observing all this silly running, and put out her tongue at him. Samuel, take away the wire from her. Why do you need it in the first place? You don't have enough wire or what? He was trying to catch Juliana, was hiding behind me. Moved to right, she moved to left, and so on and so forth. Grabbed the wire from Juliana with a dexterous move. Give it to me, give it back, she shouted resentfully. No, I won't, stop horsing around. I raised the wire above my head so Juliana with her height couldn't possibly get it. Thank you. Okay, fine. But anyway, she snorted and turned away from me. Why'd you need it in the first place? It's none of your business. Giannis looked at me slyly. Do you want me to tell everybody that you... What? Alright, I shut her mouth with a hand and dragged her along to the exit. Okay, we need to gear. To Electronic while giggling stupidly. did you come for? Once outside, I let kicking Liana free. Hear me out, you realize that it was an accident. Even more so, it was caused by you. I know nothing. In fact, so straight you've been watching us. Oh, what would Olga Dmitrievna think? One side of things, I had absolutely no idea. From one side of things, I had absolutely no desire to care what would the camp leader say, but on the other, everything was against me, and in my position, it would be better to not get myself into such situations. Fine, maybe we could have a deal somehow. She started to think. I knew, I anticipated the worst. You'll bring me that wire, oh, for fuck's sake. What do you need it for? I need it for needs. Maybe she's going to start up a telegraph exchange. Okay, let's assume I'll get it, and you won't tell anybody. Give you word of pioneer. I could hardly believe it. But on the other hand, it was just a hank of wire, so why wouldn't I try? Yeah, she's probably going to wire up some explosives or something, so... Accept or refuse. Accept, refuse. Yeah, fuck it, let's accept. Okay, fine. Okay, fine, deal, but you must know that. Yeah, of course. She interrupted me. Wait here. Saying that, I got back to the club's quarters. Electronic was building something of a rapt attention. Now I'm done with everything, so I thought she'll get me something as you promised. My voice sounded a bit sycophantic, and this drove me mad completely. Of course I'm not insisting, but 1 minute. Tore himself away from his work, and got a pair of buns from the drawer and classic triangle pack of kefir. Be my guest, thank you. I was eating busily. Electronic hasn't turned away from his device for a second. He was reeling up the wire, which I had taken away from Ilana on the coil. And it was a wire she wanted. So what's this? An inductor. Inductor? Really? Join a club and you'll know everything. He looked at me and smiled slyly. I'll think about it. Of course I wasn't going to join anywhere. Okay. But taking into account that he fed me, I had to be more polite. By the way, as I said, of something else. Oh yeah. Wait a second. He entered the adjacent room and got back after a minute with some kind of package. To you. He gave it to me. There was a big bottle of Stolichnia vodka inside. Oh, there we go. Huh, I get it, but still morning. Or does electronics show a motto of get drunk in the morning, get entire day off? What are you talking about? I'm not suggesting to drink it. We have to clean it. We have it to clean the optics. Ah, okay. Oh, well, there you go. Cleaning the optics, yeah, right. Internally. Okay. Gave him the package back. By the way, can you spare me this coil? What do you need it for? Probably I had to think about the reason beforehand. I just need it, but we can't do without it as well. Do you? Well, never mind then. Can't just force him to give it to me, right? I'll go then. Come back any time, of course. When I want to have a drink, and nope, no drink for you. Getting outside, I question myself, why did he show me vodka in the first place? Indeed. Liana ran up to me instantly. And so, have you got it? Nope. That's your own fault then. Do you need this wire at all? But you can have a credit for trying. Okay. What? I was surprised. Alyssa would tell everything out anyway. Liana laughed. She's angry at you a lot. Great, I bet. I muttered quietly. Okay, see ya. That was interesting. She waved at me and ran away. Here I am in a stupid situation again, not a big deal. It's not the first time. Suddenly my hunger has returned again. For sure, a meal of some buns and kefir was awesome, but it's not enough for me to be full. And what do you know? Luckily, I heard the bell sound calling the pioneers for the lunch. Day had just started. I've gone through so many things already, indeed. But I did it, and now I have my legit right to fill myself full. Okay. Today I wasn't the last one, so I could choose a free table. Lunch included a pea soup and mashed potatoes with a fish. That doesn't sound too bad, I guess. It was a major disappointment to me, as I don't eat fish in any form, and hence will get fewer calories than usual. No, well, it just sucks then. Soon Slavia with Lena came to my table. Can we? She smiled nicely. Yeah? Yeah, sure. I stood up and poured her a chair. Please. I was in an excellent mood at that moment. Enjoy your meal. Saying that, Lena started staring at me and continued for some time, but then after realizing that she looked somewhat how odd, switched to her plate. You too. Do you have any plans for today, Semyon? Nope. Gave an honest answer as I had no plans indeed. Except for searching for answers, but it was more like a global goal. Do you want to have a boat ride to the island with us? The island? Well, I think I've seen it from the pier. For what? Olga Dmitrievna asked to gather some strawberries. That sounds pretty good. There's a lot of strawberries there, and it's so delicious. Incredible. I could imagine that taste without even tasting it, just by looking at Slavia's face. Yes, just the taste of strawberries. But anyway. Indeed. Strawberry. What is that for? I don't know, but it's indeed a great idea. Obviously some sort of strawberry-powered device, that's what it's for. Indeed. Yeah, I haven't been on the island. Yeah, sounds great. Let's go. 10 minutes, we're already standing at the pier. Well, here's the boat. Hang on, I'll go and fetch the paddles now. I was left face to face with Lena. You like strawberry? Well, not really. But it's tasty. Lena smiled. Interesting way of putting it. I see. I didn't know what to say next, how to continue the conversation. If Slavia wouldn't be back, we could probably be sitting here till the very evening without saying a word. Here you go. She handed me a pair of hefty paddles. Yeah, thanks. Of course he's going to be paddling. We got up into the boat. I've untied it, pushed off the shore and started to start paddling. Yes, anyway, where exactly we're heading to? Right there. She pointed her finger at the island. The island is named Closest One. I wonder what captain gave us such a name. This island is close to the shore indeed. Aye, captain. If only I could know what was waiting for me ahead. I was an experienced oarsman, more so I rowed a boat just once or twice in my entire life. Well, there you go. It was less than half a mile to the island, but we were cutting away in zigzags thanks to my skills. Approximately in the middle of our path, my arms hurt so badly that I dropped the paddles to get some rest. Well, isn't there any strawberries somewhere else? I mean in more accessible places? But the tastiest one grows there. Oh yeah, I'll bet. Slavia gave me a puzzling look. Must be hard for you to row on alone. Then unlike Slavia, I realized everything straight off. No, it's nothing. Anyway, I wouldn't let a fragile girl help me. There you go, real man. The rest of the path I've spent concentrate on being alive while getting to the islands. Slavia and Lena, not Lenya, discussed something, but I wasn't listening. That was just too much for me. At last we have arrived. Completely exhausted, I got out on the shore and looked at the boathouse. It doesn't look that far away, Jesus. It seems so far away, okay, that I felt myself like a first person on the moon, watching the earth rise. Here you are. Slavia handed me the basket. It was a small island, hardly 100 meters long, and it looked more like a birch grove with even rows of trees covering the entire surface of it. Calm green sea spread beneath our feet, with the wind causing lonely waves on its surface from time to time. This island looked like a lost paradise. It's no wonder that the most delicious strawberry grows just here. We've got to split up, this way we'll get the job done faster, yeah sure. There are only 2 baskets. Oh, of course, said Lena humbly. Oh, you're right, my bad. How are we going to split up then? Okay, of course. So Lena or Slavia? Lena, Slavia. Fuck it, make Slavia. Didn't want to walk here alone and hope for Slavia to join me, but didn't bring myself to ask. Well, it's obvious, 1 basket for me, 1 for you too. Why did I even bother making a fucking decision then? Jesus. No, let me go with you. Okay, Slavia smiled. Okay. I was a bit surprised, but in fact I was glad that it turned out like this. Lena seemed to take no offense at all. Now there you go. Away we go. Picking strawberries, eh? The reaping has commenced. Strawberry was delicious here indeed. I could probably eat it all if I wouldn't stop myself in time. Despite being wild grown, the berries were close to the garden ones in size and had a rich red colour, so it was clear that our visit here wasn't in vain. Slavia was walking right beside me as we had only 1 basket. I felt myself a mushroom picker, looking under every shrub and searching through the grass carefully. Pay attention. The entire bunch of strawberries was left behind. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's fine. You must enjoy being here, don't ya? Like nature after all. Of course I do. Slavia smiled. It reminds me about my home. We have similar beautiful birches there. Oh, there you go. She gazed somewhere in the distance, dreamingly. Look, I've always wanted to ask, what are you fond of in general? You look busy 24/7. Seems like you have no time to rest at all. Ah, she started to think. Don't know really. Changing my activities is a way to rest for me. Well, that's understandable, but still. Like doing knitting and sewing, really? Something like that. Slavia got a handkerchief out of a rocket, out of her pocket. There were red, yellow and green flowers embroidered on it. Oh, there you go, fancy. They're entangling each other in a complicated way, creating sophisticated geometric forms. Such a typical Russian handmade handkerchief. Glimpsing at it, I instantly imagined Slavia and the ancient Sarafans sitting on the bench beside ramshackle house, with a crowd of playing children running around. It's quite cute. Thanks. Let me give it to you as a gift, my god. Such a proposal embarrassed me. You shouldn't. No, take it. Looked at the handkerchief once again, and put it into the pocket, or my pocket, probably. Thank you. There you have it. There was so much strawberry here that after a mere half of an hour, we had the basket filled up to the brim. Seems we're done. Yes. Got a lot, so it should be enough for sure. Once we got back to the boat, Lena wasn't here yet. She needs more time to fill the basket by herself. Yeah, I guess so. We'll just let her do that. We'll just let her do that then. Anyway, I looked at the river. Sun sparkles, happily dancing around the water surface, were the only things helping to distinguish it from a mirror. That's how calm the river seemed. What are you thinking about? Nothing really. And you? Me? What will happen once vacation is over? We'll have to go back to our homes and leave this camp. Will I ever okay, yeah, of course. Will I ever see anyone I meet here again? Will I ever see you again? She looked at me with her eyes full of sorrow, so I couldn't think up what to say. Oh, but there you go. Lena came out of nowhere, helping me to break the pause. Oh, you're done already. You're done already. Here. Basket full of strawberries, great. Now I can go back. Indeed. Face and words still in my mind. Sadness and sorrow went kind of motions typical of her, shall I say. Could she be hiding them all the time under the mask of cheerfulness? I had no answer to this question, knew I couldn't anyway. Maybe later. Okay, yep, managed to weigh everything else, get back alive, managed to get there, hands were starting to hurt, no energy. Slavia with Lena leaned over me. You could have said something if it was so hard for you. Ah well. Yes, never mind, it's fine. Just stay here for a bit and everything will be alright. Okay, then get those baskets to Olga Dmitrievna, please, as we have something else to do. Yeah, sure. So ready to agree with anything at that moment, just so I wouldn't have to get up. Slavia put the baskets full of strawberries next to me and headed to the square, happily chatting with Lena about something. The hardest thing is done anyways. That's what I thought before I got up and took the baskets. After the sport paddling, they seemed like cement bags while weighing barely above a few kilograms each. So the way to the camp leader cabin took much longer than usual. I had to stop after every 50 meters to have a rest. Once I finally made it, I put the baskets on the ground and sat into the sound lounger with difficulty. Olga Dmitrievna, got presents for you. There was no answer. Hardly managed to get up and enter the cabin. Nobody there. Don't need it, it's up to you. Indeed. Fell asleep, and ready. Whoa. Strawberry race, really. Paddling above my last ounces of strength, trying to escape huge berries chasing me, of course. Hands were failing me, and I could barely see anything because of sweat covering my face. Blood was hammering in my temples, but the strawberries were getting closer, baring their teeth at me. But wait, strawberries with teeth? Semyon. I woke up. Olga Dmitrievna was standing beside me, shaking my shoulders. So you got a rich harvest, didn't you? Tried my best. Yeah, fuck it, let's take all the credit. Yep, I tried my best. Okay, but that's not all. Seriously, I was just anticipating the lovely rest I was about to have. Do you even know what these strawberries are for? You bastard. But anyway, not a single idea. What an honest confession. We'll make a cake out of it. Okay, of course, I see. Well, it makes sense. Well, to be honest, I would have just eaten them raw myself, but whatever. To honor the miraculous saving of Shurik. It's all thanks to you. It's clear that getting strawberries wasn't the last thing to do. And why, please tell me if I'm such a hero, why do I have to organize a celebration in my name by myself? Well, I guess. So, I have an important task for you. Oh my god, another one. We're missing yeast, flour, and sugar, and I need it all in the canteen before dinner. Those who will make a cake can't deal with it on their own somehow. I've asked pitifully. Of course they can't. All of them are busy. You're the only one in the whole camp who does nothing. Ah, of course. While the words were partially true, doesn't make it any easier for me now. Moreover, those words felt like a bullet to my head. So write it down. Get yeast in the infirmary, flour in the library, sugar in the clubhouse. Waiter, waiter, I have no time in a hurry. Good luck. Luck pioneer. She smiled slyly and left. Of course, there are a lot of strange things in this camp, but yeast in the infirmary? Okay, I can do all that, but flour in the library? And sugar? It's way beyond my comprehension. I spat on the floor. I want to not believe this. Just tell me you're pulling my leg. I'll be surprised if the crowd of green fat trolls would appear here right now beside me, with every one of them feeling obligated to laugh at me. So maybe hell this cake. Make my options. No, if such a major... Wait, no, if such a major Olga didn't turn his plan would fail, I would get it hot like no tomorrow. Complicate both my life at the camp and my search for answers, which I've stopped for quite a while. Seems I have no other option. So there you go. Wow, talking my mouth off there. So, yeah, so that makes a lot of sense. Oh, fuck it, let's go to... Well, I haven't been to a library in a while, we'll go there. There. If every other place in the cake component list at least made some sense to me, then flour from the library made none. So there you go. I think I might just save the game, actually. Been going on for a bit of a while. Pretty good, actually. Good story. Certain bits definitely go on for a little bit longer than I would certainly like for them to go on for, but yeah, what the hell, still pretty nice little game actually. We'll just save it. I think this is a save icon. Yeah, here we go, save. Save game. Oh, look at that, it captures a screenshot even, very nice. Perfect. Yeah, definitely, actually, oops. Yeah, I didn't mean to click that. So, yeah, I did save day 5. Perfect. Definitely don't want to have to replay all that again, Jesus. Yeah, so there you have it. Actually, just, what does this do? Is this the menu? Ah, yes it is, alright. What the hell, I guess I might as well show the exit screenshots, because that looks kind of cute. Exit, there you go. Do you really want to quit this game? Yes, I do. And if I quit, it's just going to scrub the... actually, I don't think it already scrubbed the recording, but in either case, just switch over to this main screen there, just quit out, and there you have it. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed that, and yeah, there's going to be more goodies coming. So yeah, I do have one more interactive novel. It's not a visual novel, but it is an interactive one called Mecha Ace, which I might be going into at a later stage. But yeah, Everlasting Summer, definitely pretty nice, and it's free as well. So I'm playing the censored version, as you can tell, but it's still pretty good. What the hell? And I suppose the censored bits, at least means that I can put it on YouTube and such without having to worry about, you know, rating it for adults. So there you go. Anyway, I think I've blathered on long enough. I shall see you all next time.